Good evening, South Point family. Pastor Collins here. Wanted to just give you a few announcements and updates on a couple of things and just kind of share with you for just a moment, just a plug for Wednesday night. I'm recording this on Monday afternoon. Our deacon and leadership are going to meet on Tuesday night at 6 o'clock, and we're going to discuss going forward where we're at and what are the next steps and some of the things that we are going to traverse through with the COVID-19 situation and how and when we're going to do church. So be much in prayer for us tomorrow night concerning that. We're going to look at the summer and what maybe there's going to be some dates that are going to need to be changed, and anyway, nonetheless, we're moving forward. We will certainly, through our various media outlets, give updates and insight, and please know the office is open. You can call the church if you have any questions. You can stop by in regard to church life and what is going on. In these meetings, we have included some of our department leaders to help kind of cover pretty much all the demographic of our church. I do want to mention and this is really one of the main reasons that I wanted to just share an announcement or two. On the screen there, you see 4 couples. These are mission couples that are sent out of our church. How this is done in the World Baptist Fellowship. Every missionary has a church that is their sending church, and typically that is a church that is sensitive to the needs and the help of that couple more so than other churches that might support them. The local pastor, in this case would be myself, interfaces with their particular mission board and or organization, and we partner with the mission organization to kind of help the missionary do the best that they can do. Most of you know all of our missionaries. We have about 70 missionaries that we support, but 4 are based out of our church. Jerry and Susan Sinclair, 20 plus years, faithful and true ministry, a ministry that reaches to broken families, families that have been affected by sexual abuse and pornography, that sort of thing. And Brother Jerry, I had a talk with him just last Friday and asked him how he was doing, and he shared that in terms of their income, so far so good, but keeping a very watchful eye. We want to lift this couple up. They've done a good work for many, many years. So pray for them. They are local, but they are our missionaries. Also, Romeo and Victoria Serico, you know them. They are currently in the Philippines. They went over there because there are a number of churches they were able to get into in order to garner support while they are on deputation. By way of reminder, they are missionaries going to the Philippine community in the Western Canada area, and they are on deputation, which means they are trying to get enough for their monthly support. Well, with the COVID-19 outbreak, they were, of course, canceled in a number of churches. They were going to go and report there. They were slated to come back to us in early June. They may extend that. They have been under quarantine just like we have, and the Philippine government is making decisions about when some of those things will be lifted. So pray for them. They just want to get to the field, but the hard work of deputation has to come first so they can have enough support while they are over there. Also, of course, Jeremy and Veronica Eastwood, they are under our STEP program of the World Baptist Fellowship, which they are committed for a year, then the next year decisions made, and they're kind of leaning toward wanting to stay yet another year. They have fit very well down in the Dominican Republic is where they are at, teaching school, ministering in the mission church plant in Ramon, Santana, which is near the city in which they live, San Pedro, bigger city, San Pedro de Macorís. Pray for them, try to talk to them regularly, and they are trying, their greatest concern is for those in their congregation and school families that have been affected, that have no income coming in, and they have reached out, as they are such givers, and done their best to be a blessing and help. Still teaching virtual school to the Christian school there, which is only about a block away from their apartment, and they are quarantined, and they've been pretty strict in the DR in terms of people being out and about. So lift them up, they're near and dear to us. And of course, John and Lynn Cunningham, longtime friends. We have supported them for a number of years, but only this past year did they become members of our church, sent out from our church, their particular situation, and so they're one of our own, and we want to be in close touch with them. Talked with both of them just last night, had an opportunity to chat with them, and of course the burden of the school, the Christian school, Las Palmas Christian School, a bit of that burden is upon Sister Lynn, and they are trying to figure out how to be able to continue to pay salaries for teachers. They are doing virtual school. Not everybody has that opportunity in the DR, but they I believe they have been affected, and they're constantly meeting as they go forward. Brother John, of course, works very closely with Pastor Felix at the church plant in Ramon, Santana, and of course they are doing like us. They record their services and send them out, and a good number of families. John kind of felt like a good percentage of the people that attend and are members of the church at Ramon Santana have been viewing online, but it's different. John is a workaholic, and having to be holed up at home is just not something he's comfortable. They took a major step of commitment and bought a house there because their heart is there. So pray for them. Pray for the work there. We have other missionaries in the DR. They're not out of our church, but the Griffins and the Pattons are in another part of the country, and the Corners. We have a great commitment in the Dominican Republic, and we're seeing fruit from that. So pray for those ministries here. Pray for the ministry in the Philippines, the Saricos, and of course for our two couples out of our church going to the DR. And I know they'll appreciate that, and we want to continue to think about them. Well, I got this picture up here. You've heard the term, we need to have a come to Jesus meeting. It has become kind of a modern adage or phraseology in the modern church, and we kind of know what that means when someone's not doing right, and there needs to be a meeting, different than intervention, but a spiritual intervention, of course. I want to talk about Wednesday night. It may take more than one Wednesday night. Not that we need a come to Jesus meeting, but I want to talk about personally when, as the T-shirt says, when I need to have a come to Jesus meeting, and what that means spiritually. And three things I want to talk about is the reality of our situation before God. Then I want to talk about the repentance of our sin. And then very importantly, and this is really kind of what led me to want to share this kind of message, is the restoration of our spirit. I may use a phrase called post-repentance blues. What do you do the hour, the day after you make things right with the Lord personally? So I'm going to talk about that. I need a come to Jesus meeting. So we hope you'll be online with us Wednesday night for all our staff, and they're sharing the different departments. I hope the Lord blesses you, and we're going to be together hopefully soon. But it is all